when it comes to a lot of people in the dance world,
they stupid.
I saw a whole series about how stupid they were.
Dancing with the Devil or something?
Yeah, Dancing with
On
the Devil,
Netflix?
the TikTok one.
Should they just move their bodies and not their mouths?
You got swindled by a pastor, bro? Come on, dude.
I think.
Welcome back to Careful Boys. Today we're talking about how the Careful Boys are obsessed with Kamala Harris.
Got your vote, right, dude?
No.
Wait, what? What's going on? You're not. You're not a part of the Kamala.
Kalamanon?
Kamehameha.
Yeah, come on.
It's a Kalamanon, dude.
I don't want to be no Kamala.
Why?
No.
Why? Why'd you like Joy? What's
Don't you feel proud that our very own Asian sister is like running?
Do you think Indian people are Asians?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, it's the Asian sister.
But she's denouncing her Indian side. She's black.
That's what it is.
She's black, man.
She's not fully proudly, claiming she's Asian. She's switching sides all the time.
Hey, as a guy who switches sides all the time, both gender-wise and everything, I did talk here before on camera that like my Chinese Vietnamese heritage, when I was younger, it was like something that people would always like make fun of me for. Like Chinese people wouldn't fully accept me; they would call me Vietnamese. Vietnamese people wouldn't accept. And then I realized as I was older, I was like, I'm gonna just use that to my advantage. I'm Chinese when it's convenient for me. I'm Vietnamese when it's convenient for me.
Joe, what the fuck are you doing?
Kamalamalan.
Lime Slurpee Coke.
Nasty.
Kalamanon?
That is disgusting.
Yeah, what I was talking about is important.
I just thought. Look, he was pulling focus in a big way.
Kamala? So, okay, that's...
I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, isn't there an argument towards just like if it? I don't want to say convenience, as if the presidency is something that is just about convenience, but like, is there anything like that wrong as a huge talking point against her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think when you're playing to America, and America has this fucking hard-on for racial politics, you know what I mean? Like, no, other countries don't really care so much.
Are you a chauvinist? Is that why you don't want to vote for a woman?
So because of that, I think it feels very convenient when you're like, all of a sudden, when you've been in office this whole time, to go, now I'm black, you know? Especially, that's why I'm playing to the American audience.
But isn't she doing the I'm a mixy thing?
I'm a Mexican.
I'm a mixy? Like I'm boathy?
Yeah, she is mixed, right? Because her mom's full Indian.
Yeah.
And her dad is like part Jamaican, but her dad's also gone. So that's like,
But he's an Irish dude, right?
What do you mean he's gone?
like he wasn't around, right? Didn't he leave?
He did?
I feel like he dipped or something like that.
I was just surprised she was dating Montel Jordan, and she was hot.
That part.
I didn't know that.
I remember that.
And their spaghetti string dress.
The other thing I only know her for is the speech where she's like, "Don't come, don't come."
And then Trump says, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come.
I'm gonna come.
I'm gonna come.
That's all I know about her.
You guys don't want to be a part of history and see the first
I do.
Woman.
Subi doesn't.
Subi's sitting out.
in American history?
First American woman.
Do you feel like she has a legit shot now, though? It seems
No.
like
I
the tide is
don't.
turning.
I honestly don't.
Yeah?
Tide is turning is one of those things that people say a lot, but you have to listen to this woman talk, dude. It's like, I don't even think she knows what the fuck's
But I don't. That's the problem. I don't think anyone else is listening to her talk. Like I hear her talk and I go, "You stupid."
Yeah.
But I think other people talk and I hear them go, and I'm like, "Are we listening to the same shit?"
Like Subi looks like Thomas Edison next to Kamala Harris talking.
What?
You know what I mean? You know what I
I
mean?
think so. If I see a face, yeah.
He made the internet.
If I see a face, he made everything. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But look,
I thought it was George Washington Carver that did the internet.
He made the peanut.
Oh.
He created the peanut.
And traffic.
Kamala though,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I think she kind of funny.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's just the way she says stuff. She said 18 to 24-year-olds are just stupid.
Yeah.
You heard about that, right?
Yeah.
I was like, man, I kind of
And she
can't disagree with that. Man,
That's like a spicy take.
All right, if you look at actual voter turnout,
Yeah.
it's like, I think there's like 150 at least million people that are eligible voters, right? But like, look at how many people actually come out to vote.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people actually. Not only do not a lot of people vote, most people give a fuck about politics. They think it's boring. They don't care.
Yeah.
They'll see a few words said by a politician and they already made their mind. And the game in politics isn't about converting the other side. It's about making sure that your party's group gets up their lazy asses and go vote.
It's also about like, well, no, it's also about reaching the people in the middle who are always who are basically the most annoying voters, right? Like it's like they can't make up their fucking mind, and then they wait till the last minute, right?
When you see people on the street and they're marching with the whatever, they're not gonna change.
Right.
They're gonna go they already know who they're gonna.
They're radicalized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody right in the middle, I think those are the ones that no one really talks to.
And they're the ones that don't vote either, huh?
They don't vote, but I see the way, like, so, like, you know how, like, they kind of showed how the comments are different on the same video depending on your algorithm. It learns, like, if you're leftist or right wing, and so, like, we're kind of living in these bubbles, right? And we're like, well, clearly, you got to be dumb if you don't see what they're saying, right, or whatever. But we're both living in these different echo chambers. And then also there's just a confirmation bias where people don't want to believe that their candidate's an idiot.
That's true. On my same feed, because I follow both sides, there's one where Biden takes off his American flag pin to you know how we did that whole like trade with Russia?
Yeah.
To the prisoners. So one was a former Marine, and he gives them his American flag off his own suit and gave it to him. So it's like a very honorable gesture. That's one page. The other page is after everyone deboarded the plane that just came from Russia. It looks like Biden thought that was Air Force One, so he starts walking up the stairs, and then everyone's looking at him like,
That's the wrong plane.
that's the wrong
going to
plane.
Russia,
That's
my
the
boy."
one that just landed.
They stood there for like 4 minutes, and he slowly comes back out.
Yeah.
It was super weird. And Kamala Harris just standing there like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, so like depending on who you follow, you're gonna see like the same thing, but then different angles of the same.
I heard he gave him that pin and jabbed him a little bit with it.
Because I would argue that it's not so much that Biden had hella supporters. It's more so that Trump had hella haters. I think it's in the same way where
You were one of them.
Kalama's gonna win. If she is gonna win, it's because people hate Trump so much and they're afraid of Trump to take office.
I get it.
I think that's true. I think
that that's her only shot.
But this time, mainstream media isn't even pulling and being like what they did with Hillary. You know, they were saying she's gonna win with the landslide.
Yeah.
They're not doing that right now.
Yeah.
They showed that he's pulling in favor,
Yeah.
but the points aren't as drastic. Because during Biden, remember they played with the idea of here's other candidates, and then like when Kalama was like pulling against Trump, it showed a dramatic difference.
Yeah.
They're like she'll never win.
Yeah. Well,
Now
because
they're showing, like, this-
she loses the Rust Belt. The thing about the polling right now, is, and who knows when you guys are watching this, but it's talking about the popular vote most of the time. When you see that Kamala's going to win, they're talking about the popular vote.
Right.
But states-wise, it still looks like Trump's going to win as far as the electoral college.
Who got the delegates?
What's that?
you
Because you get hard about that shit. It makes your cock hard.
I heard they're not gonna. They don't want to debate each other. Like Kamala wants to debate Trump, and apparently Trump is saying no.
Yeah, that's whack. He
But
should
that's
not.
the thing.
He should
Why?
debate her.
Why do they need?
No,
to?
he says he didn't say no. He said, why would I schedule a debate with someone that isn't even picked officially as the
Oh, okay.
because it was during that week where they
It's a
just
jab.
announced it. Yeah, and then it was like, but even within the camp, Obama didn't endorse her yet. It
did
didn't.
now.
Now he did.
Yeah.
Via
And-
phone
yeah.
call.
Yeah, it was pretty funny because Trump even called it out. It was pretty funny. He's like, oh yeah, they had 4 cameras, just happened to be there. Like as soon as Obama calls, it's like the most natural thing. He was making fun of it. It was pretty funny. As usual, guys, just fucking.
Have you ever been to a Trump rally?
Me? No, I never know where. I never know. I'm down to look. I'm down to just go to one, just to see what's.
We should go
cracking.
to one. Careful.
There's a Kamala one in Vegas soon.
In Vegas. You want to
Want to
go?
go to Kamala?
Let's go to Kamala.
We should go to both.
We should go to both.
Yeah.
Let's just go to both.
I want to go to both.
You guys just start interviewing people, dude. Just start
JK
interviewing.
rally.
I think we should go to both and just see what it's like.
I'm down.
See the vibes.
See what the people are like.
Yeah, because I think
We
like
should just campaign.
We should run for president.
We should just go to both and sell Jumbi at both of them.
that's true.
That's what the real people do.
You guys want some matcha?
Because if you think about it, like we're actual moderates. We don't like we do vote both.
No, we're extremists here.
Yeah, we're echo chamber here.
What up, guys? Thank you for watching us for so long. If you like what we do, please support our Patreon. Joe, tell them what we have to offer.
So every week you get 2 videos. One never released director's cut, and another one 2 hot for YouTube, Patreon only. Every freaking week you get that. And you get access to our Discord where you can come chat with us.
And ask us questions that become episodes here because we're going to answer them and we're going to take it seriously and we want to give you the responses that you want. So come stay connected with us, join our Patreon, click the description below for full details.
But that's the funny thing is like, why is it that people don't believe that there's an option? Most people, they might vote Republican one day and then they might vote Democrat another day.
Look, dude, my whole thing is like, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to pay that many taxes.
Yeah.
Right? And also, like, don't fuck with my cryptos. That's it. That's all I give a fuck about. So far, the only person who doesn't want to give a fuck about my cryptos is Trump. Because Kamala Harris and Biden have been dog shit for my cryptos. And the SEC fucking has sucked the whole time for my cryptos.
Yeah, SBF, he gave so much money to Biden campaign, but then, like, it didn't pay off.
Right.
He's still going to jail.
I know. And they're just so mean to the whole ecosystem. And then I got Trump talking at a Bitcoin convention, so I'm into that.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
I'm into that.
That's pretty wild.
But that's my issue. What are you into?
Huh? What am I into?
Like, what's your biggest thing? You're like, this is why I like Trump.
Yeah, why are you into?
Yeah.
Like, what's your biggest issue that?
I think it's the fact that he's just brave enough where he doesn't have to follow a specific rule that any president has to do or listen to a puppet. He's not a puppet, pretty much. He's a badass, his own dude. His own. There's no someone telling me what not. He over here is hinting deep state by himself. Like, I feel like he's the one that can actually save America.
And he's good at golf too.
He's good at golf. He's realistic and he's actually up to date with our terminology, terms, slangs.
Did you see the clip of him talking about Venezuelan oil? And how he's like,
I did not see that
we were
part.
this close, we're gonna take it, we're just gonna take it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they were just planning. He was just talking
Kinda
about.
what Subi's talking about. He's not a very good puppet,
Oh
right?
no, he just.
Because he's like, hey, this is what's going on. We're gonna take their fucking oil.
Yeah.
And whereas we always go like, the Venezuelan people need the democracy real bad.
We need to free them.
Yeah. You just say it.
You know, we just say it and we do our best to do it. He said, yo, I'm gonna build the wall, and he's legit building the wall. You know what I mean? Like, he's a man of his word. That's it.
All right.
You know what I mean? And everyone else lately feels like they're doing stuff for shit that we don't want. Anything we don't want, they're constantly doing it. The opposite. You know what I mean?
What about
Like-
the abortion, Subi? Fuck all those women?
Well, you know that we had that conversation too somewhere. But look,
Fuck them, right?
no abortion. I think they're saying that it's because there's specific people that are taking advantage of it. That's ruining it for the people that needs to do it.
Okay.
I'm not saying what specific people. You know what I'm saying?
I think Trump actually has the best position on abortion.
What's his position?
Leave it up to the states. He's. I don't think there should be one national thing. Just leave it up to the states, whatever the governors want, and then you guys decide which state you want to be in.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, that's pretty cool.
He's
What
simple.
about people who can't move?
Why can't
Well,
they?
too bad.
Because you could even just drive across state for an abortion vacation.
It's
Right.
expensive sometimes for people.
Get an Airbnb,
Get an Airbnb, rent a Toyota Land Cruiser.
Buy a plane.
kill the baby
Maybe a
that you
Tesla.
want, and then come back.
You're probably selling off your coochie anyways. You can afford it.
Selling off your
People go to Cancun for spring break.
Right. People go to Vegas just to gamble and lose money. You
They
can
might-
go.
yeah, don't lose money this weekend. You'd get your abortion.
Yeah,
That's what you're-
exactly.
I get it.
Come on,
I get it.
dude.
Block it off.
Anthony, to
Gets
the
a PTO
dance,
for your
to the
abortion.
dance community, can you tell them why you're voting Trump?
I never officially said that.
This video is called Anthony Lee from the Kids.
Oh, don't be scared now.
Can just
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
All right, don't do that.
Anthony's full on Kalama.
Don't do that.
Kalima, I think.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do
So we
that.
cando anything then.
Don't do
who
it.
you vote for, dude? Jeez.
Hey, don't do
Chairman
that.
Mao.
China number one. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Honestly, you saying China #1 is probably your best out, dude.
China number one, guys.
You know what the safest route is? RFK.
Shit.
That is a safe route. Look, I will say that when it comes to a lot of people in the dance world,
They stupid.
don't do that.
Okay.
I saw a whole series about how stupid they were.
Should they just move?
Dancing with the devil or something?
Dancing
On Netflix?
the TikTok one.
Should they just move their bodies and not their mouths?
You got swindled by a pastor, bro. Come on. Dude.
I think a lot of times, like for example, right?
Y'all got boofed.
When you get when you go into like, I just don't want somebody who's like fucking with like my crypto, for example.
Yeah.
That's like your world.
Yeah.
So like when something like affects a majority of your world, even though like you might not have the same abortion views or something, but that's maybe not necessarily in your world. So like you're not gonna take as strong a stance.
It's not your like top 5 priority or whatever.
A lot of people in the dance world, like their biggest gripe about it includes things like representation and like their people, their culture and stuff like that, which includes like the LGBTQ community, which includes women's rights, which includes just like that kind of
umbrella.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like lifestyle. You know
But what's
what I mean?
really
So-
weird to me is there are LGBTQ Republicans, Asian, Black, but then
for the same reason why there's black people for Trump, there's black people against, like because they almost ironically are yelling the same thing on, like Bart said, on the opposite side of the same event. You know what I mean?
It's almost like they're not a monolith, and they actually have individual.
well, what I find weird is like in entertainment or like in the Asian community, right? They'll back Asian politicians that are only left wing, and they somehow forget that in the Republican Party there is representation, but Next Shark doesn't like lift them up. No one talks about them.
Asian Dawn.
And I'm like, that's weird. It's like you'll celebrate this Asian politician only when they're a Democrat. Even though there are, like there was that one guy, the fucking Mr. Cow that spoke during the RNC. And all these Asian like pro-Asian accomplishment shit, no one talked about that. He's a Vietnam he's Vietnamese, but he's like a special ops guy or a Green Beret. He served in the he's done all that stuff, but I think it's because he's a Republican. So I was like, that's so hypocritical, because if you are about Asian excellence, does it matter if you're right or left? It shouldn't. Yeah. And that's what I didn't like about I'm moderate, but I do want people to be celebrated. If that's what your publication's about, is about Asian excellence, it's not just biased like for your agenda. Yeah.
Or like celebrating Matt Kim too. Right? It's like why is all the people that put him on the non-Asian pages, but if you're for Asian excellence or for Asian influencers, you should be putting on Matt too.
Yeah, because I think a lot of California Asian entertainment and everything is just so left-leaning that there is a major bias.
Well, there's so much bias too. You can't even just say that the Trump picture was fucking sick. Like of him going like that. You can't just say that was sick.
Do it again.
You like that? Yeah, exactly, dude. Fucking fight, right?
Fucking Zuck said it.
Well, exactly.
And he got shit for it.
He got melted for it, and that's what I'm saying. It's like you can't just say objective truth. Some things are just objectively true.
Because some people would rather deny truth than get melted for something.
Right. That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is like an innate human concept that we've developed in this social world. And in a weird way, it's like, that's fair. To each your own. You don't want to fucking get blasted. Then it's like, don't get blasted. Just don't blast other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the only
But something, it's like, if I see a monster truck with a monster decal on it, that is objectively sick and everybody knows it, and you can't even deny it. Like, to me, it's just that obvious. It's like, everyone knows that that's sick. Just say it.
Yeah. Dude, like, but why should we be so scared? Like, I don't get why, I noticed.
Right, aren't we all Americans? And it's just different parties within the same country?
Well, because we also live in the keyboard warrior cancel culture, like, era.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why do we have to be so, tiptoeing around people?
Like, I could openly say that I don't like the administration, the camp that's running the Democrats right now. No. And I don't like the culture that's I don't like that. Like, I feel like it's elitist. I feel like it's like intellectual snobbery, like not real. I think it's also sometimes pseudo-intellectual, but it's very like Bay Area, Silicon Valley. Like, they don't care about poor working class. It's just very like university culture people. Yeah. That's all they give a fuck about. And then right now I'm seeing a lot of change that's happening on the Republican side. And I'm like, why can't we just talk about that openly and say, hey, from time to time it might change in the future? Like, in the past I didn't like the Republicans. I didn't like the GOP. I didn't like Bush Republicans. I didn't like those guys because to me they were big corporations and pro-war. And now you see a flip where the Democrats are actually big tech and big pharma and pro-war. Yeah. And then I'm like, well,
and pro-immigration because they can exploit the fuck out of them for big corporations, which is whack as fuck, like Tyson's Chicken and shit.
And you can like and dislike like groups within the camp. Because the two-party system, if you really look at it, there's small different groups within the same camp.
What's your major issue for this election for you personally, for Joe?
Me?
Yeah, your number one issue. Like
I think it's very hypocritical that, well, I know why they had to have Kamala as, because she would lose the campaign funding.
Yep.
Because it's Biden Harris, right?
Yep.
So all that money and all the pledges and all the votes that they have, they'd have to reset. And that's going to really put them behind. So as a gameplay, I understand. But I thought it was unethical because the integrity of our politics is kind of hurt because of the way that they just said, oh, she's the nominee. And I was like, well, what about fair competition? And was it fair because she wasn't the one that was voted to be the nominee? You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't like that play.
So to you, that already spoils her for you.
Big time. Like, well, I just don't like the Democratic Party right now. Yeah. The way, I think I really didn't like them the way that they did Bernie Sanders.
Yep, do the same.
Because Bernie Sanders was a popular candidate and he deserved to be like treated fairly in the DNC. But there was clear collusion. There was leaked emails. They showed how they were favoring Hillary. They snubbed them out of the whole thing.
Donna Brazile admitted to it.
It was so
She was the head of the
fucked
DNC.
And after that, I was like, that whole camp needs to be cleaned the fuck up, dude.
Bart, what's your issue?
I have a couple actually. I think one big one is I think what makes America awesome is that we have the ability to choose. I feel like that's like one of the greatest traits. Like, 50 states, you can live anywhere you want. You could find places where they're super pro-gun, against gun, places you could fucking smoke and grow your own weed, places that you're like, I don't want, there's fucking weed's illegal. That's what I love about America. And when there's like stuff that's like censorship, when there's things to, it's like, not here's your decisions, but here's more control. I've already decided for you. And I've been feeling that since like COVID and the pandemic from one camp more and more and more, which like, I mean, as you guys know, I was like not political at all on JK News for fucking like the first 7 years. It's like the pandemic was when I was like, what the fuck? Like, what happened to all of our choices? And now it's like, if you don't agree with one choice, you're automatically getting canceled. I'm like, this is not the America that I grew up in, that I really enjoyed, where like Democrats and Republicans could be friends. That's one. The other one is like the whole like defund the police movement, but then also having unsecure borders and then also taking away guns. I think like once you have a kid and you start a family, you really care about safety. Like you really care about kind of like boots on the ground type issues. Like, yeah, fucking climate change, whatever, that's all fucking awesome. Like I don't give a fuck if my fucking family's dead, you know? Like I want to make sure my family's safe.
Yeah.
So right now, it seems like the only camp that is like back the police, shut off the borders, we don't have crazy motherfuckers coming in, and then going back to the Second Amendment rights is the Republican side. So to me, that's Trump and J.D. Vance. So that's who I'll be voting for. In college, I was way different. I voted for Obama in college. And then after that, I literally give no shits about politics. I didn't vote for fucking like 12 years. Yeah. And then, or 16.
My first vote was John Kerry. I've been a Democrat all my life, yeah. But then I started going moderate because I was like, wait a minute, I was born into being a Democrat. I didn't really choose.
Yeah.
And I thought that he would stop the war because during that time, all of our friends were getting deployed.
Yeah.
And I just was like, but this is clearly an oil war for the Bush family. So I thought John Kerry would end it when I voted for him, but I mean, yeah.
Same. People thought that with Obama too. Nick, issue.
I don't know, man. I think I'm in the middle. I just feel like for the Democrats, I just feel like our country is kind of bought out. You know, it's like you see all this money going to Ukraine, all this money going to Israel, funding all these crazy wars. And it's like, man, I just feel like I don't know what the interest is of the people running our country. I feel like it's not in like the American people in a lot of ways.
Versus our roads are all shitty. I'm like,
yeah, man, like it's just like there's so much going on with like think about just education or homelessness or things like that where I feel like so much more money can go to that or more resources, more help, but you see some of the stuff in like the Israel and the Palestine stuff and you're like, man, like America's funding a lot of that. You see the Ukraine stuff, it's just really crazy. So I just have no faith that if Kamala wins, if anything's going to change. from the Biden administration. So I'm just kind of in this weird place where, and I'm in California where I'm like, dude, I don't know if my fucking vote counts anyway. And then with Trump, it's like, I don't know what kind of crazy trouble that's going to be when he becomes president. But I don't know, man. It's one of those things where I kind of just lost faith in just our American politics, because it just seems like everybody's playing identity politics rather than actually solving problems. And you know, and I think about it as if I was a politician getting paid out as a public servant, getting paid out and being incentivized to be taking some of these bribes and interest that way, it's like I don't see anything changing. And I'm definitely in a point where I'm like, dude, I have no idea. I definitely just feel like just no faith, unfortunately.
I think you speak for a lot of people on
Is,
that.
is RFK gonna be on the ballot or no?
It depends on what state. I don't know. He just got approved for Nevada.
Oh yeah, because he has to get on the ballot per se.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But third party typically hurts one of two of the presidents.
And also too, it's like if that fool gets elected, I feel like that fool's gonna get smoked, bro.
Just like his family.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that dude, like, and what
He wants to dismantle the CIA.
Yeah, it's like part of it is like if we're gonna talk about real change that's gonna affect the government and our people, it's like I don't know if I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know what the real solution is.
Yeah, I think you know what I think about RFK too is I don't think you can really trick him. Like whereas like Trump is in office for 4 years and they surround him with just like deep state fucking plants. Yeah. And what I mean by that is he could go to his CIA director and be like, hey, like I want to do this, and they're like, yeah, and they don't do it. You know what I mean? That's Mike Pompeo. That's like all those guys. The guy that's the same guy, by the way, who wanted to kill Julian Assange, like with a fucking drone. Yeah. Like that.
But didn't Trump fire him?
I don't know.
There was some drama.
Something happened, but he actually promoted him. Remember, because he went from CIA director to Secretary of State.
And he didn't kick out Fauci.
No, didn't kick out Fauci.
He had him there, and then he blamed him.
And I don't think you can play RFK like that. Like RFK, I think understands because he's a lawyer. I think he understands who he's surrounding himself with a lot better than Trump does.
And I feel like with that kind of precedent, his message, I'm like, I just feel like they're never gonna let him get there.
I agree with you.
And same with like Bernie too, right? And you kind of see how his politics started to change a little bit. He started, like you said, he started to play a little more ball.
Oh, he's playing ball fully now.
Right after he got snubbed, he told the line. Yeah. And he endorsed Hillary.
He endorsed Biden. He just endorsed Biden again, and then he now endorsed Kamala. I mean, he's just all.
So I feel like it's over, dude. Some should move out of the country, I think.
Okay. RFK's running mate is a half Asian lady. What a time for half Asian ladies, right?
Is that the billionaire's wife or whatever?
Yeah. Ex-wife. Yeah. Ex-wife.
Yeah. I think it's all over. We're all dead, dude.
All right. Good uplifting shit from Nick. Thanks, Nick.
Hey.
Look out for yourselves.
We're all gonna die. Look out for yourselves.